Enjoying the beauty of Switzerland without paying any cent? Yes, that's possible, and I'm going to show you one of the most beautiful places in the Engadin. I just arrived at the parking lot here at the lake of Sils, and now I'm going to hike up there. In general, that's what I always recommend. When you want to enjoy Switzerland's beauty for free, then consider going on a hike for which you would not require to take any cable lift. The parking lot at the peninsula is free, and so is the hike. When you're traveling around Switzerland during autumn, then definitely it's a great idea to go for a hike in the larch forest, because you get all these golden colors, and this is something that's very impressive. Now in particular up here with the lake in the background, having a very clear navy blue color, well, that just complements the orange, and I think that is surely a great spot to consider going for a hike. I really love to travel around Switzerland during autumn, not only because it's a colorful season, but also because it's not really busy. This will allow you to enjoy Switzerland's beauty pretty much for yourself, although once in a while you may bump into a few locals, though on weekdays you'll be likely alone. But hey, don't worry, being alone on this trail, there's absolutely no risk. When I went there, I had absolutely no idea of where to go, so I just went with the flow and let myself being surprised. Only after 20 minutes I reached high enough to get a pretty good view. This here is a great spot to see the lake. Blue color, so impressive. And then in the foreground you have the orange larches, so both colors, they nicely complement each other, and this is exactly why you should consider coming here for a hike. Of course, you can always choose to hike higher and higher until you reach the summit, but I think this is not really necessary. Around the lake of Sils, when you reach this village, the view is really going to be fantastic. So what I really found enjoyable about this place is that the larches, they still felt kind of close enough, and then the lake just behind, the entire ensemble looks really beautiful. If you would go higher and higher, then basically you're just going to see everything from even further away. But I think it's not really necessary unless you want to do some exercising. Now standing on this rock, and that's another fantastic lookout point. The view to the Silsersee is just phenomenal. And then behind me, this is the village of Grevasalvas. So it took me about 20-25 minutes to hike up here. It's very easy as the trail is basically just a road. Thus, even if you come here with your families or elderly people, it's definitely bearable, so no worries. Now, what I really like up here is, again, as I said before, the orange and the blue, they just go so well together. And then especially if you're taking a look, there are the snow mountains. White, golden and blue. Couldn't this be any better? Of course, the hike doesn't end here. You could actually go up this trail, and I think it's definitely going to be very scenic. However, myself, I'm going to hike down now to the Silsersee, and I'm going to show you my favorite secret spot, which is the peninsula. The hike down was quite easy, thanks goodness it's not really steep, and especially with the shortcuts in the forest, I managed to accelerate the journey to maximize the time at what I consider being my favorite secret spot. I just arrived back at the Plaun da Lej, and just in the background you can see the peninsula. That's where I'll be heading next. This is a fantastic photo spot. So it's really easy to go to the peninsula. You just enter this parking lot, which is, by the way, free, and just head in this direction, and then you'll see there are some marked trails.
This peninsula is really a fantastic location, especially during the afternoon. During the time the light will nicely fall onto the peninsula, then you will have the shadows between the larches. Something is going to look really beautiful, especially during fall.
So this is the spot that I want to show you. You have the view here over the water, and then the golden larches here. Wow.
What has really fascinated me since my first visit here in 2018 is of how raw this peninsula has remained, despite just next to it there's actually a very busy road. It is a true hidden gem in one of the most touristy regions of Switzerland. And although the peninsula is really beautiful, you do have to be careful, especially when you're near the cliffs. Thus, just stay a bit behind the edges and do not rush while you're roaming around. But otherwise, enjoy! By the way, there are more nice photo spots, especially on the base side and then also at the tip. Now if you want to spend more time in this region, then I can highly recommend you to stay at the Hotel Bernina 1865 in Samidan. It's a very classy hotel with a great service, the rooms are very cozy, and the food is also delicious. Especially their pizzas, they're really amazing. Besides the Lake of Sils, there are many great things to do in this region. Thus, you may for example want to go to Lake Silsersee, a really fascinating place, or then there are also other things to see, and then you may want to watch that video.